Tankies can't really talk about their Russia fetishizing. Oh yeah, I saw that just earlier this morning. There's this TikTok red fascist who really hates me, who makes videos attacking me sometimes. I forget what his name is. He said he didn't want to debate because he's a or something. I don't know. But a video of his got posted by Midwestern Marks, who's like a 14-year-old Stalinist or something, and it was like, look at this.
If you want to understand the war in Ukraine,
Edward Mugler or something.
put yourself in the shoes of somebody.
Wait, that is him? Wait. This guy is Midwestern Marks? They're the same person? Oh. Oh, no. He's retarded. Oh, I didn't realize he was that bad. I thought he was just oh. Is this guy like 15? I thought Midwestern Marks was 15, but the Edward M. Liger guy, you know, I think he's in college or something. He looks like Shaggy. I don't know. This is an adult. Oh, man. That's really embarrassing. Well, I guess I'll watch the clip now. Now I just feel kind of bad.
Somebody living in the Donbass region. This is a place in eastern Ukraine containing cities like Donetsk and Lugansk, where most of the civilians are ethnic Russians who speak the Russian language. And in 2010, they voted for Viktor Yanukovych as president because he promised to bring peace between Russians and Ukrainians. But in the lead up to 2014...
in 2010, I'm pretty sure there was peace between... Okay.
The U.S. funneled millions of dollars into Ukraine in order to foment a coup and overthrow that government.
That's not true. Factually incorrect. Yanukovych was a puppet of Putin, directly took orders from Putin, and when he made the incredibly unpopular deal to ignore the will of the people and side entirely with Russia in an economic trade deal, as opposed to the EU, which the people wanted, the people protested, and Yanukovych tried to turn Ukraine into a dictatorship at the behest of Putin. The laws that he was attempting to pass would have given him essentially total dictatorial control over Ukraine. He was protested against, and he eventually fled the country. There is no evidence that it was an American-backed coup, any more than American officials supported the protesters. As in, like, yeah, you go fight for democracy. Which, if that makes it a coup, then, you know, okay. Well, all right, then. Didn't he also gun down protesters? Yes, he did. You're correct. He had snipers at the behest of Putin, to whom he was a puppet. He had snipers shoot protesters. That's true.
And at this point, literal far-right extremist ethno-nationalist groups like the Azov Battalion started getting added to the actual Ukrainian military. And they started...
No? That didn't happen until later. The Azov Battalion was a local ultranationalist militia that formed because Russia invaded the Donbass in 2014, and Ukraine basically didn't have a military. So there were a bunch of like loose, you know, like regionalist paramilitaries that coalesced in order to defend from the Russian-backed invasion. Yeah, eventually Ukraine would go on to nationalize all of these militias, not just the Azov Battalion. The Azov Battalion is one of literally hundreds of militias, but it had nothing to do with, like, deliberately, yeah, taking the Azov. Why does it censor Scooby? Why does it censor Scooby? On top of that, he's failing to note the small detail that Russia invaded. Yeah, very curious that this guy, who's just honestly representing the facts of what happened in Ukraine, not including the whole Russian invasion in 2014. Is he even going to mention the annexation of Crimea?
Waging war against the ethnic Russians.
No, I don't think he is. This is the Russian line. Russia invades the Donbass and supports the separatists there, and Ukrainians defending their territory are framed as warring against ethnic Russians, which is, of course, incoherent and factually incorrect. I really wish this guy wasn't such a pussy. He's backed, he hasn't backed out of debating because he never said that he would. But I feel like I remember him having to defend his unwillingness to debate me, you know, because there were people in his community who wanted him to as well, so he could epically own me. I didn't realize he was the Midwestern Marks guy. That's really embarrassing. The Midwestern Marks guy, I just remember posting like incomprehensibly retarded shit so often, and like getting ratioed and made fun of and everything. Do you think he watches Muppin? He's not smarter than him.
Including firing artillery shells at their homes. In all, 14,000 people were killed before Russia even got involved. That is the humanitarian.
That's just factually incorrect. Also, by Russia getting involved, what he means is Russian troops directly moving into the Donbass as opposed to simply supplying money and armaments to the separatists that they funded, prompted, organized, supplied, and gave intel to in the Donbass. So it's a lie, but he's also laundering like the actual invasion part of the lie. Not mentioning Crimea either, curiously.
Crisis that the U.S. created in Ukraine, and that's why Russia eventually invaded. The Donbass actually requested Russia to invade 10 times before they did. War is terrible, but remember...
Yes, the Russian-backed separatists in the Donbass requested that... Yeah, obviously.
NATO started this war. If you want to understand...
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, this guy is like primo retarded, but I don't think he'll debate me. Have been following for a while. You make a lot of factual statements that people wouldn't hear otherwise, but you lack a good bit of objectivity in service of cementing your takes. A lot of omission here and in some other videos. Even a fan is like, okay, obviously there's going to be omissions of information in TikTok that's limited to 60 seconds, but what else would you like us to cover? I've gotten in trouble in the past for saying that I think that a lot of tankies actually lie more often than like Nazis. And so this is what I mean, you know? Because I've watched a lot of alt-right and Nazi videos, and usually, like, at least the crust around the dishonesty in a Nazi, like, denialist video will usually be stuff like, okay, World War II started, and at this point this battle happened, or at this point this battle happened. But usually the framing with, like, it's a product of Russia's disinformation strategy, which is lie about everything all the time, even if the lies are mutually exclusive or internally contradictory. Lie about literally everything. Remember in the lead up to the Ukraine war when they tried like 57 false flag attacks that were really obviously, like clearly, provably not real, but they did them anyway? It's that kind of thing. The thing I can never understand is like, do people like this understand that they're lying? I think they do. I think like many fascists, they just don't believe in objective truth. This guy is aware of the fact that he's lying about all of this, but he thinks that his lies support a better moral version of reality than the lies that are otherwise being pushed by other forces. In essence, he doesn't believe in truth as a concept, and he doesn't believe in there being a moral value to truth. He only believes in the power of narrative, and he thinks this narrative is the right one, even if the facts you need to construct to support it are themselves individually incorrect. That's my best guess. I don't think it's possible for a person to be incidentally incorrect when they're a propagandist that lies that consistently. You wouldn't be able to brush your teeth without choking on the brush. You wouldn't be able to put your shoes on without tripping over and hitting your head. You know, they have to have some ability to parse reality from non-reality, or they wouldn't function in their day-to-day lives. They'd be in an institution. It's that Dugan shit. We have our truth, you have your truth. It's schizo shit. Yeah, well, it's fascism. Bosch, I thought you didn't believe in objective truth. I believe in empiricism. Do you mean objective truth in like the postmodernist sense? I agree with a lot of stuff postmodernists say, but the truth postmodernists refer to are narrative truths. I still believe in empirical truths, like, you know, the kind of stuff this video is completely devoid of. But fascists often don't. They don't believe in empiricism. Anti-empiricist is the term I use. Vosh, this take confuses me because don't these fascists believe in words as objective descriptors for things? No. What? No. Quite the opposite. Fascists constantly play with the meaning of words. Trust me, listen to how they talk. This shit, it shifts around constantly. Their purported belief in objectivism is completely fake. The only thing objective that they claim to believe in is moral objectivism. They think that what they think is right is objectively universally right. But when it comes to like the meaning of words or what has happened or hasn't happened or what in reality does this, that, the other, no, they not only do they shift around, they openly shift around. They are fully aware of the fact that their construction of reality shifts moment to moment. That's the difference between like the fascist anti-empiricism and the postmodernist belief in an objective truth. A postmodernist can believe in a fundamental empirical grounding from which different analytical frameworks draw out different truths. I think many people would agree with this. I think it's a straightforward way of understanding the world. It's just an academically confusing way of framing it. Whereas the fascist will challenge the underlying empiricism. For a really good example of this that you can look up on your own, take a look at esoteric Nazism, or maybe Nazi esotericism, depending on which article you're reading. You can take a look. There's a really weird world of, well, esoteric Nazism, where, you know, they will, at the drop of a hat, they will shift between different scientific or empirical understandings of the world based on what makes the best story in any given moment. This is one of the reasons why Nazis were obsessed with coming off as like scientifically rigorous, but also sent off like military expeditions to retrieve mystical artifacts. You know, like it's this like very strange, like, have you ever looked into the Aryan myth? Like the shit Nazis would talk about when it came to the origin of the Aryan people, like the giants, the whole, it's wild stuff. But they would talk about that and then also make like evolutionary based defenses of the purported superiority of white people. So again, just empirical reality with these people, man, with fascists, just all over the place, all over the place. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go. Least incoherent Nazi. Savitri Devi Mukherjee, born Maximiani Julia Portas, was a French-born Greek fascist, Nazi sympathizer, and spy who served the Axis powers by committing acts of espionage against Allied forces in India, later a leading member of the neo-Nazi underground during the 60s, a proponent of a synthesis of Hinduism and Nazism, proclaiming Adolf Hitler to have been an avatar of the Hindu god Vishnu. She depicted Hitler as a sacrifice for humanity that would lead to the end of the worst world age, the Kali Yuga, remember that? Which she believed was induced by the Jews, whom she saw as powers of evil. Her writings have influenced neo-Nazism and Nazi occult. It's insane! Is she related to Tulsi Gabbard? Good question. Esoteric Nazism, man. Nagel considers scientific fiction pieces like Atlantis further fueled the violent persuasiveness of Nazi leaders, such as Adolf Hitler and Heinrich Himmler, as further justification for a Nazi elite envisioning for itself in East European territories. The age of supra-rational magic. This is like Q shit for the 1930s. Where's that YouTube video of the smug face bouncing around political ideologies? Your average like 14-year-old online. The bounce, you know what I'm talking about? That's a classic one. Where is that? Where is that? Here it is. So good. Anyway, that's probably the average fan of this guy on TikTok, I'm imagining. Somewhere in like the fascist state of things. Hitler literally thought the earth was hollow and that dinosaurs were still down there. It's mental. That's fucking based, man. That's fucking based. Rare Hitler W.